Hello coloring friends, welcome back to my channel. So in my most recent video, my completed pages for October video, I mentioned that there's kind of a technique that I use for black backgrounds, like a solid black background. And I did have a few comments of folks that said that they would be interested in a video covering that topic. So here I am to do a couple examples. I have Flora. So this will be an example of pages with double-sided illustrations. And then I have like pages out of like mythographic books, which are single-sided. So the reason why I grabbed both of those is because there are two different methods that I use, or two different mediums that I use for creating black backgrounds. Now, the first method would be for double-sided pages, which you would most likely be concerned with the black or whatever mediums you are using going through to the opposite page. So for those pages, I like to use a water-based medium, such as this Tombow water-based marker here. And one thing I do like about this is it has the nice brush tip that has a nice point on it, as well as the little nib here, bullet nib, for getting into really tight spaces, which comes in really handy. So I've marked this page here that I thought would be nice to kind of demonstrate. Basically, so I have this page here with these pretty flowers on it. I penciled in a frame because I didn't want the black to go all the way to the edges on this particular page. And this way I can show you how I use a water-based marker as step number 1, and then step number 2, going over the water-based marker with your black pencil. I have a black Prisma here. You all know I love my Prisma pencils, so that's what I pulled for this page. So basically what I like to do is I like to do my first layer with the marker, and I will, just for extra precaution, I don't know, I'm maybe just OCD here, I will put a page underneath. It should not go through. I've done this before, but I don't know. I just feel better doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and lay down some of the black marker here. I'm just taking my time. I like to do, you all know, I really like to do kind of intricate detail work, and you know, maybe listen to a podcast or a TV show or some soothing music. And what I usually do is I go around the kind of outline the image, okay? And then I will fill it in. And that way, that gives you a little bit of space between your image and your the background area, so you don't have to worry about going into your image there. I'll do that here as well. Oh, my hands are not steady today. I don't think that shouldn't make much of a difference. Okay, and I'm not being particular or careful with this because we're going to go over with that black Prisma pencil, and that is what is going to smooth out all of these lines that you get from your marker. So, but the key is also to wait until the marker is completely dry. Otherwise, you could risk tearing your paper or damaging your paper in some way. Okay, so you all know how I do that. I'm gonna wait for this to dry and then we'll come back and I will show you the second step. All right, so my marker has now dried and you can see the lines. Hopefully it's picking up on camera. See how it's not smooth and it just doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look finished. So that's why I go in with my second layer. And first of all, actually, before I do that, I want to show you that it did not go through. Now, of course, I happened to do it on a page that had black, but it even goes through onto this area here, which is not black. And you can see that it did not go through. Now, mind you, I am careful not to concentrate too much in one area. I just keep moving until I have it all covered. And you don't even have to be particular with your coverage with that because this pencil is going to take care of that. So what I do is then just go through and put a black layer of Prismacolor pencil down. I'm working in circular motions so that there's no real definite streaks. So just working in circular motions, and you can start to see that black deepens up and the lines disappear. So I'll work on this a little bit so we can get a good section here that you can see the difference. I used to use Posca, black Posca. My problem with that, and this is just for me, guys, this is, you know, all of this is just what works for me here. It's, you know, everybody has their own ways to do things. But I used to use black Posca for this, and it worked okay, but there again, you would still see the streaks, and I didn't like that I couldn't get up nice and close. I had to have like 3 different sizes of Posca with the different size nibs to get in all of the areas. And I was just trying to streamline the process a little bit more. And I don't know how if I saw somebody doing this a long time ago, or if I just kind of did it and it seemed to work. I can't, you know, pinpoint how I came up with this. And like I said, maybe I didn't come up with it. Maybe I saw somebody doing it. But this is what I do. So, yeah. Just going back in with your pencil, circular motions. And you might still, if you look hard, you can still see a little bit of lines, but it's nowhere near what it was. Okay, so from about here up, you can maybe tell the difference there. So you can see the marker lines down here and not so much up here. And that's how I do a typical black background when I have double-sided pages. All right, so for the single-sided pages, it's just one step. So for the most part, so you can see here, I already started because I kind of wanted to experiment. I was trying to test out the difference between using a basic black Sharpie or my black alcohol marker. And really, I couldn't see a whole lot of difference. I did like the black. The black seemed actually a little bit deeper with the alcohol marker, which I was kind of shocked. I thought that the Sharpie would be deeper. But let me hold this up to the camera here. So I don't know if you can tell. It is so minute, guys. You can barely tell. Anyway, over here is where I did the Sharpie in this section here. And then here is where I did the Ohuhu alcohol marker. I should do a little bit more so there's more comparison. But really, it's very negligible. I mean, and then as you can see, it does bleed through, but it doesn't matter because it's single-sided. So I'll do some demonstration here. This is the Ohuhu alcohol marker from the I believe it's the Honolulu, no, Oahu series, because it's not the brush tip, it's the bullet and the chisel tip. I was using the bullet tip, and maybe I should choose a different area that's not quite so intricate. But, you know, and you could use your, if you don't have the Ohuhu markers, you could do the black water-based marker and pencil method this way as well. That works for all pages. But this way is just one step if you have that black alcohol marker, because they don't really leave lines. As long as you're working quickly while the paper is still wet in that area. Now, you probably could, if you needed to, go over the alcohol with the pencil too. Maybe you did have some lines that showed through. Then in that case, I would go over with the pencil. As a matter of fact, I might just color over those stars and then add them back in with some white Posca. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm not even going to bother with those. Okay, so you get the point here. So there might be some lines, so maybe I would want to go back through with my black pencil, but they're really not very noticeable. And once the whole page is colored and maybe you do some splatters on the background, it's not going to show as much. And this is just one step, so it's super easy. So I guess that's it for my video. I hope that helped you all. Maybe if you have any more questions, leave comments down below. Make sure you thumbs up if you like this video, if you got something out of this video. That way the algorithm will, you know, circulate the video a little bit better and maybe reach other people who could benefit from it as well. So thank you so much for sticking around, watching the video. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye now.